their sunset. Oh my god, all of my are recorded.
All the the wave is like. That's okay. Okay, yeah, finally. Right. Episode number 5. Is it recording?
Hoy por ser día de tu santo.
This is supposed to be a serious podcast. It's just us singing. Wait, is that how we cut the clip?
Mañana en que vengo a
What is he saying?
saludarte. I'm gonna translate it later.
Okay.
I'm not capable right now.
Happy
So,
birthday, Pavel. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm blowing out the magic candles.
Yeah. Okay. Episode number 5. Finally doing this. It's happening. Now we're here. After 2 bottles of beers and a cake being cut for Pavel, who just turned 30. Also, like, now I'm looking for a younger co-host. He's too old for me now, so I need.
Please send your resume.
Please send your resume. I need a fresh meat for my podcast because he's not fresh anymore. He's an old guy. Okay, starting with you. Episode starts now. You know the structure. You know what we do. There are 4 parts to it. The first part starts with just a very casual question to keep things going. Icebreaker. Just a conversation running. And it's Pavel's question, and I can hand it over to you. It's your question.
What's your favorite place to drink in the world? And what are you drinking?
So my favorite place would be Puerto Vallarta. Is this beach in Mexico in the state of Jalisco. That's where I'm from. And to me, it's just like my zen place to go whenever like I don't recall, probably in the last 15 years, not spending a Christmas there with my family. It's very nice. Sometimes it's a bit touristy, but for me, it's just the place where I completely disconnect. And my drink would be a michelada, but there's this concept of michelada because in Mexico, depending on who you ask, michelada doesn't have, you know how it's prepared?
He doesn't, of course.
Uncultured,
okay,
one of the
Let me say what I think, and then you'll tell me what it actually is.
Okay, perfect.
So,
and if he's wrong even by one ingredient, it's considered to be doesn't know. You can't have it. It's considered to be you don't know it if you get even one ingredient.
I'm putting myself up to ridicule.
Okay, quiz.
So in my head, michelada is and I say that I love micheladas and I love Bloody Marys. For me, like, michelada is if Bloody Mary and beer had a baby. So you put some tomato juice, you have like a salt and chili rim, and then you fill it up with tomato juice to your taste and liking.
Yes, he's correct. In the sense that, of course, you have a little bit more sauces than the Bloody Mary, but in some states like michelada, it's without the tomato juice. So they have specific names in Mexico that when you add the tomato juice, it's not a michelada, it's either cielo rojo, like red sky, or sangre de Cristo, which is very
I thought that was just red wine.
intense, but like that's like Christ's blood. So yeah, no.
Okay, so why this drink? I mean, there must be. Is there a story behind this drink?
No, there's not a story. It's just a drink that I mean, whenever you're hangover, of course you have it. It's,
what?
Yeah, in Mexico, whenever you're hangover, you have
Makes sense, because Bloody Mary is like too punchy.
Yeah.
So if you have,
But
like,
it's still
beer and
alcohol.
tomato.
It's still alcohol, right? So
You
Hair of the dog. You never heard of hair of the dog?
I mean, fight fire with fire, all that. Yeah, but okay. So this
So
is
how would you make your ideal michelada?
Okay, my idea michelada would be tajin rim with chamoy. You know chamoy?
Tajin is the chili thing.
Yes, and
Chamoy?
chamoy, it's made of it's called chabacano, but it's like a paste / liquid that you use to put like the liquid part of the rim, and then you use the tajin, and then you would have lime, Maggi sauce.
Maggi sauce.
Maggi, like for meat, like meat sauce. And then Worcester, I don't know how
Worcester
to say
sauce.
yes.
I was gonna say that I've also had a
That?
but I also put that in Bloody Mary.
Salt,
It's really nice.
maybe a little bit of pepper, and then according to your liking, a spicy sauce. Like some use Tabasco, other use Valentina. I love Valentina.
Okay.
And then the tomato juice.
That sounds excellent.
And the beer.
And the beer.
Yes.
What's your favorite Mexican beer?
Pacifico.
I've had that one. Nice. Alright,
I feel so
well,
uncultured right now because I'm like.
We have to go for
sitting here like-
micheladas next. We're just gonna do like a 24-hour drinking episode.
Why? And no, I thought it's a hangover drink. We do a 24-hour drinking episode, drinking everything else.
It is a hangover
And then
drink.
next day when we are super hungover, then we have.
No,
this
but
drink.
wait, it is a hangover drink, but it's also so Puerto Vallarta. If you go in December, it's hot. But if you go even in like August or like the summer period, it's even hotter. So the thing is like it's such a refreshing drink that even though you're not hangover, it's just like, oh, I'm craving so bad for a michelada.
So if
right
the
now.
sun's out, you're on the beach. You know,
Like immediately I'm like, I want a michelada.
Excellent.
and
So
why
that's
is
my drink.
and why is that place your choice?
My
of place?
set, like my choice, it's just like whenever you feel that you have a place that you disconnect. I love going to bed, listening to the waves, how they're like their sound. It's just like very relaxing to me, and I've also when my parents bought a condo there when I
Yeah.
was 10 years old, so I remember lots of trips with my friends going to Puerto Vallarta. So, you know, like going to the clubs and doing stupid things. It was just, like it has such a core. It's such a core memory for me, that place, that whenever you ask me about, okay, you need to relax, where would you like to go? For me, it's just like that place, and it's not like it's the most beautiful place ever. You know, like white sand on the beaches. Like it's beautiful, but it's not like super exotic. Maybe like Riviera Maya. You know.
I don't know. Really.
Well, but I
But
don't
I
know.
guess I get your point. It's like
Like water, it's not like crystal clear. It's just a very nice beach. You eat amazing seafood, amazing, but it's not like the most beautiful beaches. But it's just, for me, it's the place where I just completely disconnect from whatever's happening in the world.
And that's because like since your childhood you've been going there so many times.
Yes.
That's like the place I mean, for you personally, when you think of like disconnecting from this busy life we live, that's the place.
Yes, 100%.
Do you have a place like this in here where you go to disconnect?
If there's anywhere I am when there's no sirens in the background, I feel lost.
So you want silence in the background. What, you grew up in like World War II?
Yeah,
Like, so used to like sirens and like planes flying above your head. Interesting.
I'm actually very, very old. 30 is just...
You turned
Oh my
30.
god, I'm also 30. Stop saying that.
Guys, I'm 31. Like
Bueno, pues.
you're just got here. You just got here. It only goes downhill from here. You spoke about California. So America is your home. So is Barcelona, and of course Mexico. So like how what's the dynamic here? Like you grew up in Mexico, but then you moved to the US, and then you.
No, I was born and raised in Mexico. My mom's from the US. She is what they call first generation, so my grandparents are Mexican. They migrated to the US in the 50s because back then it was very easy. They created like these work visas, especially after World War II. It was just like very easy for people to migrate and work to the US. They stayed there, they got their citizenships, and she's like, my mom and all of her cousins, first generation Americans with a Mexican background, of course. And I was born and raised in Guadalajara. Neither of my parents are actually from Guadalajara. That's a funny thing. My dad is from the northern part of the country, from Monterrey. And I've spent all my summers in the US, especially like the month of August. I would always go in August to visit my grandmother. And when I was 16, I spent there 2 months because I wanted to try out the whole, like, I didn't know what I wanted to do after high school, so I wanted to test the fashion scene, and I went to do some, like a summer camp in an art university in San Francisco. So that was 2 months, and then later on in university, I did my exchange in Virginia. That was almost 5 months. So that was like in terms of length, the longest I've been in the U.S. for 5 months. But I've never properly, besides for my exchange period, lived there like for a year. So I don't know. I think that I officially, like, my citizenships are Mexican, American, Spanish.
You have 3 citizenships?
Yeah, because I've been living here. In Spain, if you come from a Latin American country and you spend more than 2 years here working legally,
You get a citizenship?
Yes.
Not just Latin America, Philippines as well, right?
Philippines.
Like colonies,
Yeah.
So Philippines
ex-colonies.
is-
Yeah.
So you have Philippines and then Equatorial Guinea
Mhm.
and Mexico, like, yeah, Latin America. And I think that it's just I don't know how to describe it. I mostly feel Mexican in all the sense whenever.
Sorry.
No, it's fine, don't worry about it. Most of my traditions come from, like, Mexican culture, but
I'm back.
he's back.
I'm back.
But my mom also, like, I went to an American school. My mom also raised me, with also American traditions. So I have that part in my brain where sometimes, especially when I came to Europe, because Mexico is so close to the US that sometimes we don't realize how influenced by American culture we are until we go outside. But when I got here, I could tell that just like I don't know, like, from, like, politically correctness and things like that, that it's not very common here, I feel. So I do think that in my brain, like, American culture is somewhat ingrained, but it like I feel that if I have to put an order, it would be Mexico, the US, and then
Spain.
Spain. I have a huge love for Spain, of course. I've been here living 12 years, but
So you came here for undergrad?
I came here for undergrad
That's
to
cool.
the competition.
That's pretty cool. Ah, yes, that rings a bell.
What competition?
Esade.
Tonight is the Yes Esade football match.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where's your heart lie?
Of course,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Good. That's what you tell all the girls.
That's how I tell all the girls. Isade. We can release this podcast in Isade and then, like, have Caro just being, like, vilified by everyone in Isade. So if the US, Mexico, and Spain go to war, and
You could have
they
just said football. You went straight for You went straight for
so they go to war and every citizen has to be enlisted as a soldier. Which country would you pick?
Mexico.
Mexico. Nice.
It's actually very. There's a part in our anthem that actually talks about that, and I love it.
What does it say?
It talks about how, like, the Mexican anthem, every son that, like, your country home has given to you, like, it would defend your home.
Your homeland.
Yeah, like, whenever you go to war, like, it talks about, like, if an enemy comes into your homeland, you have so many countrymen that will defend it.
Defend the country.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's very, very powerful. Actually, after the French national anthem, the Mexican is the second best. I think is the first one. No offense to the French.
The French? I think the best national anthem is the Soviet Union national anthem. Have you heard
What?
it?
No.
It is. The country failed, but that national anthem was a fucking banger. It was so good. It made me feel like I was not even part of Soviet Union, of course, but it's such a banger. I wish I could play it now, but I
Now
can't.
he's communist.
Bear in mind, our first episode featured Karl Marx.
And then now we have. Okay, so we have traveled. Change the topic immediately before I'm branded a communist. So we traveled to your favorite place.
Yes.
We had your favorite drink. We spoke about your roots and what brings you to Barcelona and in Spain, and then the fact that ESA is better than Esade. That's been settled.
Check.
So we go to the second segment of the podcast. HR is about people, and obviously everyone who knows you knows that you are such a people person. Like, you're so loving. Like, the first time we met, like, it was like you were like you were so friendly and so loving that it felt like I know you for like a long time.
Thank you.
Does it get tiring to be this loving with everyone? Like, or like, I mean, I generally, like, it's just, I mean, there are 300 people, 350 people where we are. You know, you can't possibly be this loving, and you are. I mean, does it get tiring? Like, how?
I mean, you've been with me for the last 2 weeks. I was really sick. I had bronchitis.
No, but that's fine. That's just illness.
But I feel like it's something that I mean, if someone can fake it, then that's awesome. But I mean, I don't fake it. You know?
No, I'm not saying you're fake.
No, I know, but my point is like you really try to. It's something that either you. I feel that whenever you're in a situation, in a relationship with someone, there are like two ways of approaching it, and either you're always try to be nice and try to understand the other side and be empathetic, or you're like hardcore no in everything you do. I find myself sometimes whenever I have like hard situations, because I feel that I'm a very type A person. We were talking about this. And sometimes I have to like remind myself like you're not gonna get what you want if you approach it this way, you know? So I'm conscious about, hey, be empathetic, like be nice to people, reach out, talk to people, and it's just, I don't know, I like it. I feel like I'm helping people out. Right now I'm the class delegate in Sao Paulo, and there's this person in my class today that approached me, and he's like, hey, I wanted to talk to you about something. I'm like, okay, what? And I feel like he's in a specific corner where nobody calls him. And he's like, can you help me out with like speaking to the professor? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Of course, I gave him the recommendation of like approach the teachers, because in the end, if it comes from you, it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that, of course, you have a title right now, but if you don't have a title, if you, I don't know, like if just friends, whenever they're having a problem, they're like, oh, let me know how I can help. I love that people say that to you, and hopefully they mean it. You know? And I like helping out people. It's not just about like being nice and that's it. And if, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm answering your question.
No, you aren't. You are.
I don't think it's a matter of getting tired or not. It's just a matter of like.
No, I just feel like, is loving, like giving so much love, does it get tiring? Do you get tired? Oh, so much. I don't know. Like I don't know what do you think about this? I don't know.
I don't get tired, but I do. This year was like a first year when you could, in terms of like real friendships and relationships, but I started questioning a lot of things on how friendship work. So it's not about getting tired, it's about, in the end, I feel like relationships, it's like a back and forth situation. Yeah. So if you put the effort in a relationship, like the other person also needs to put back effort as well. So it's just a matter of, one thing is trying to be friendly and getting to know people, because I feel like we're not getting these 2 years back. Like,
yeah.
I think that we need to be super conscious about that.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes it might be a little bit difficult for introverted people, but if you don't have a difficulty in getting to know people and opening up and because we come from different like countries and cultures, and it's just very nice to really connect, and I love that, connecting with people, because you learn so much. But it's true that one thing is being out there, getting to know everyone, connecting, and another thing is the relationship that develops after that connection.
Yeah.
But in the first part, I don't feel tiring. Like I don't get tired of connecting with people. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, they say that's kind of the definition of extrovert versus introvert, right? It's not like whether you like people or don't like people, or like you prefer to stay at home and be out, because for most people there's a mix of the two, unless you're really on the extremes. It's like, what do you derive energy from? Yeah. And clearly you derive energy from being out with people and talking to them and helping them or listening to them. For me, I really enjoy that as well, but like sometimes I'm just like, okay, well, like I need to recharge, and I think Arian is probably the same. So it's like I think there's a bit of a misconception in our day and age where some people just associate introvert with like no social skills. You can be an introvert and still have
It's the energy part.
Exactly, like Arya does. Like I wish I had.
I don't do that. I don't have that much energy. No, but yeah, it's.
Yeah, and vice versa, right? Like if you're an extrovert, doesn't mean you can be like switched on all the time. Like we all need some time for ourselves and.
No, but it's what you're saying. In the end, I think I do get the energy part, and I truly enjoy myself whenever I'm with people. I'm getting to know each other, and I like. Of course, then you have like the whole FOMO thing with an ES, which is very hard.
I've been okay with the FOMO.
Oh my god, you need to teach me.
It's almost too much stuff going on to feel FOMO. Like FOMO is like when there's like one or two things you can't attend. You're like, oh man, I wish I could attend. When there's like 10 things you can't attend.
Yeah, there's everything happening every other week.
Exactly. At some point, it's just like, okay, whatever. Like
I'm getting better at it. I'm getting definitely better at it, but I do feel that I have such a hard time because I really do that. I'm like missing out. I'm missing out on something. I'm missing out on an experience or getting to know someone. On, I don't know, finding like the greatest advice on something that I'm struggling with, and I don't know, you know. And these things happen when you connect and when you talk to people, and yeah, I don't know.
So here's the other. So there's obviously the good parts and the good side of connecting with people, right? Like you make connections and you make. I mean, the people in your life. Good people always add value to your life.
Right.
But then there's the other side of where you connect with bad people.
Right.
And just like how energy can be increased, some people just like suck energy out, and some people disappoint. So in that process of like when you are connecting with people, and because you're just like so loving, you're just like connecting everybody, and everybody is like amazing. What happens? How do you deal with like when somebody disappoints you?
Oh my god, it's such a hard time. I talk to my friends. I talk to my husband. I have such a hard time because I feel that I have such great expectations about everything in life. And my husband has this great quote. I mean, it's not a quote, but I think everyone knows it, that if you don't have expectations about anything, you're not going to get disappointed. So go in life around with no expectations, and then you're going to get surprised.
So unconditional love, is that what you give?
It's about unconditional love, but it's more about like, it's going back to my point where a relationship is like a back and forth thing.
Yeah, so when the back and forth is like tit for tat, right?
Yeah,
but
the back and forth doesn't work.
But when the tat doesn't happen, then is that
I start questioning myself if I'm doing something wrong, if I offended
so you
someone.
doubt yourself then?
I doubt myself a lot.
Not the other person.
No. I doubt myself a lot. I doubt myself if I did something wrong. I start questioning if, I'm like overthinking. Am I having this great expectation? Like, why I'm not invited to this? Or like, I just start, doubting myself a lot, 100%. So how I deal with it, I talk to my husband. I talk to a lot of my friends. Isa is one of my...
Shout out to Isa. Shout out to Isa.
And Mabi, because they're almost like my... And Gabi as well. Those three are like my... Shout out to all three of them. Yeah, my shout outs. I always question myself, but I think that in the end, so how I cope with it, I'm just like come to the realization where, like we're in this world where we're getting to know 350 people, and it's hard and it's so intense. There's so many plans at once, and you just trying to, because of the whole expectation things, I arrived to this conclusion that you have to go to bed every day knowing that you did the best you could that day, and that's good enough.
With people.
With everything in your life. With study, academics, life, family. Like, if you went to bed saying, look, this was a day where I did the best I could, that's good enough. And you should go happy. Like, you should go to bed happy. So that's my philosophy, and I try to apply it. Sometimes it's very hard because of the expectation part.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like a learning mechanism, like, You're not happy with my answer. It's what's interesting to me is that even when you're disappointed, even when somebody disappoints you, your disappointment is not with that person but yourself. Yes.
I don't know. Like, if someone disappoints you, is your first blame him, her, or you?
I think the natural tendency is to blame the other person. Some people I think it depends on the person. Some people have a natural tendency to blame themselves for everything. Other people have a tendency to not blame themselves for anything. And probably the healthy thing is to try to figure out which one of those two you are, which is hard because people are not very objective about themselves, and then try to sort of distribute the load. Because if people keep letting you down, then maybe something's wrong with like how you pick those people, or something's wrong about how you communicate with those people. Conversely, if you're always blaming yourself, then there's only so much you can do as a person. I really like what you said about going to bed feeling like you've done everything you could. Aryan, I hope you go to bed tonight feeling like you've been the best podcast co-host a man can be.
Pressure.
I forgot my keys.
Yeah. That's whenever anything goes wrong with the podcast, I just blame Aryan.
Yes.
But in general,
in general, yes. Interesting. Okay.
But if you don't take responsibility, then it's also really hard to improve.
Yeah.
But if you take too much responsibility, then it's also kind of hard to improve because you spend so much energy beating yourself down that it doesn't leave you energy to
but I think it also
yourself
has,
back up again.
I mean, going back to your point, I think it also has to do with the personality. I feel like I have a personality where I sometimes take to things too personally, and it comes to a point where it's like it has nothing to do with you. And coming to that realization, it's sometimes very hard because that's when I start, asking myself these questions like, okay, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe, I shouldn't be hanging out with this person, or I don't know, whatever. But I do feel that it has a lot to do with personality, with expectations, with, yeah. I'm definitely an overthinker. If you need to define.
I can relate.
You are not an overthinker. I don't imagine you as being an overthinker. You feel like
I
you're
have
like
many hidden depths.
But no, I'm an overthinker 100%.
But it is fascinating though, because this is how I see my friendship life. So we start when we're kids, everyone's a friend.
Right.
Oh, Jerry Seinfeld has a joke about that. Do you know the joke?
No, which one?
Jerry Seinfeld's joke?
Oh, when you get narrow now?
No, the joke is like if an 8-year-old is like to another 8-year-old, it's like, you like cherry soda? I like cherry soda. We're best friends now. So like the amount it takes
the
relate to
threshold.
someone is just like so low.
The threshold for friendship is very low, that's true.
And then obviously the older you get, the more you know yourself, so then the more expectations you might have for other people.
But what's happened now for us, it's like that's the normal trajectory, right? Like you start, like when you're young, everyone's a friend, and then you grow older, you know yourself better. Also, your friend circle gets smaller and smaller, and suddenly there's MBA boom. There's like 300 people in your friend circle all over again at a time where you are so selective. But I don't know, I feel like I was not selective about friends, at least in the 2 years. Maybe because, like you said, we have this expiry date. We have 2 years. So you're like, yeah, all right, everyone is a friend. I love everyone. I just wonder if 1 year after MBA, we're just gonna go back to the narrow funnel.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Part 2 coming up next year.
The second season.
By definition, will be a lot more distributed in different places. But I feel like in terms of close friendship, it's a very different dynamic. Than you have closer and less close friendships at the essay, but friendships, what we're talking about earlier, they need time. It's not necessarily either you spend a lot of time with someone a short amount of time and you kind of get really intense, or it's more about you've known this person for 20 years, so you know them at their best, you know them at their worst, and you've been there for each other. So at this point, it's you have a lot invested in it. You both have a lot invested in it. So even if you hit a rough patch, you both have a lot of incentives to work it out.
Exactly.
With new friends, it's if someone pisses you off tomorrow at the essay, you're gonna have to see them every day. So probably there is a bit of a correction factor where you're gonna talk it out, or maybe talk to some other people. But once we leave here, it's okay. They're so annoying. I don't have to talk to them. But at the same time, I feel if I'm not pointing any fingers.
No.
Tell us the names.
But at the same
Who
time,
is it?
at the same time, I feel there's so many people at the essay who I get on well with, and if I don't know, they move to Prague for work for whatever reason, and I'm passing through Prague in 3 years' time, even if we haven't kept in contact, it'll be easy enough to message this person, be hey, I'm in Prague, what are you doing?
Let's have a drink.
Because the stakes are quite low, right? It's still kind of a friend, but it's more a friendly acquaintance where you can bond and reminisce and...
Yeah, and in the sense I feel like everyone, I mean not everyone, but at least a big majority would be having that same mentality of let's connect, we're from ESA, let's hang out, what's up, what have you been doing lately? And I think that's such a good thing, because in the end it's 2 years that guys we're our first year is in 1 month and a half over.
No.
You're not doing that?
We're not doing that.
No, but my point is it goes so fast, and it has an expiration date, and you know this deep in your heart, and you also, I think, that want to connect as much as possible, get to know people as much as possible, because I think that in the end what you aspire as a human being is connect with people, you know?
For sure.
So
But I mean, it's not the case for you because you've lived here for a long time.
Yeah.
But like for Aryan, I don't know if you feel the same way, but like for me, if I'm from London, like I grew up in London, if I went to LBS, I definitely wouldn't be having the same experience that I'm having now because I have all of my friends, and then you kind of torn between the new friends,
It's
the old
very hard.
friends, and then so you must have that experience. And I
Yes.
think we're talking to Gaio about a similar thing.
Even,
for a bit.
yeah, like Lucas said the same thing. Like, they
Yeah.
say, I don't know about you, but from what I've heard from the locals, they're like, they told their local friends, okay, I'm going to take a break
yes.
because I can't do both.
I haven't officially done that, but I think that they're
okay,
already
they know what-
accepted that.
They were-
No, in the sense, like, I have many friends from here, from Barcelona, that they literally had that conversation with their friends from Barcelona saying, like, I'm just gonna be out. I'll try to be there for, like, the most important events, but I have to, you know, get the most out of this opportunity because it is a unique 2-year experience.
It is.
Yeah.
And it is hard because, like, I've been living here for 12 years and I do have my group of friends here, like my family and everything, so it's hard to say no, miss out, you feel guilty. So far I haven't had that conversation with a specific group of friends where it gets really intense, like the guilt trip, it's really, really bad. But
Yeah.
I do feel a little bit of guilt every time where you see that, yeah, I cannot make it, you know? But
Whereas for us, it's like great. It's like a blank slate. It's like if I don't
Yeah.
make friends in the MBA program, then I'm just gonna be sitting by myself at home, like feeling sad. So there's
Might
kind
as
of
well make
a
friends.
big push to.
That's why.
That's true.
I was forced to do the podcast.
exactly.
I was-
I knew that.
I was like-
I knew there was a
I was
reason.
like, Jesus. Okay, I guess that's part of MBA. I have to do this podcast with him.
Now at least I've spoken to 5 people in the
5
last
people.
like 3 months. You know? It could have been so much
I
worse.
have 5
Five
friends.
friends.
Yay!
Yay.
I have 5 friends who talk to me. This is why I do a podcast. I'm the only guy who knows.
It makes sense.
I start a podcast
It's
so
such
that
a
people talk
learning.
to me. That's the level I've gone down to. So there were 2 parts to what you said about what you want to do in life, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing that you said was family.
Yes.
And you want to have a family of your own.
Yes.
That's a big part of who you are. And what do you think MBA has taught you that you will teach your child?
Oh my God.
Supply demand.
That's such an interesting question.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Wow, this guy's really smart.
See, no one listens to me.
Trust the process. No, I'm kidding. There's no process.
That's the process.
Mom, why can't I have this marshmallow?
Trust the process.
Oh my God, I don't think I actually have an answer for that question.
That's fine. It's fine. I mean,
This is a good question.
A learning from the MBA that I would like to teach my
Your child.
child.
and not academic learning, of course.
Demands.
And learning could also include. Also, learning is a word that Pavel hates, by the way.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No. He has this like irrational hate for this word. But anyway, learning could also be.
Irrational hate for learning.
So
I just fucking hate learning. It's not the word that I have a problem with.
No, so this could also mean mistakes and the bad things, and so it's not like, I mean, you can pick your answer. I'm just making it easier. Like, it's this positive, negative. But like, like, okay, if when your children will ask you about your MBA life, yeah, you're gonna tell them it's amazing, this and that. And would there be something that you will not teach but share with them that you would want them to?
I think it goes. I'm gonna sound such like a hardcore Mark Badia fan. But I really do appreciate the service part of ESE. I think that when you give yourself to others in that service part and like helping out, I don't know if you noticed, but every time you arrive in the morning in the ESE cafeteria, you're gonna see a professor helping out a student. Like there are conversations that are happening there where you reach out to a teacher and they will help you out. And I think that that's a beautiful part of a university that I don't know. I haven't done my research. I don't know if other schools have this approach. So I do feel that, yeah, like the service part is very important in life. Not necessarily like going into a NGO or going to a, you know, specific project in a country during the summer, but maybe just helping out a classmate 15 minutes because they need something, and I don't know, reviewing their contract, their leasing contract. Like, it's not, they can for sure go to someone else, but the helping out part, like the service part, I think that it's something that I would like to translate.
Active services.
Yeah, active services to my future kids.
And so the other thing about kids, like, because I obviously not thought about having kids, because I don't have the luxury to have those thoughts. Not because of biological reasons, just to clarify, just because
the man is firing on all cylinders, guys.
So it's more like I wonder that. So like when I was growing up, my parents would not ask me to do that, don't do that, because they're like, oh, we did this, so we don't want you to do it. And I always feel like, no, that's unfair. You got to do certain things, and now you don't want your kids to do it. Is there something about you that like, I've done certain things in my life that I would want my kids to do? Would there be, these it's like we pass on, like upbringing is like, oh, we don't want our child to make the mistakes that we made, or just do the things that we did or we didn't do and then learn.
I think my parents in very specific situations were very similar, but it was just more of like, I don't know, like my dad, for example, really struggles with learning English. So it's something that he really kind of like made sure that we, learn another language.
Yeah.
And that we were fluent in another language, and that's the reason why we also, my mom fostered the whole American school education. But other than that, I think that there were just like very punctual things that were, this was a mistake I made, make sure you don't repeat it again. But I feel that when I have kids with my husband, I would like to sort of share with them, like, look, this is what we feel, this is our beliefs, this is because we truly believe that this is what's gonna be the right way to do it.
Yeah.
But we want, like, we want to really teach them how to be critical thinkers and understand. Like, I don't want them to grow in a bubble.
Yeah.
I
the
want
bubble
them,
that you created and you.
Exactly. I want them to. I really want them to understand why I truly believe this is the best way in whatever, like, like religion and values, but I do want them to, in the end, have their own say.
Even if it goes against what you believe.
I think I'm gonna have a hard time with that, but I think that I've had such a free way, like I have had a freedom in my upbringing that allowed me to, okay, this is my way, and my parents have 100% respected that, and I really appreciate that from them. Like, there was openness in how they raised us, and I would like for them to have that. Of course, it's very different when you have a 5-year-old compared to an 18-year-old. Like, the maturity, it's very, very different, but I would like to, in a sense, of teach them what we believe as parents, this is the best thing for you. But if at 18 or whenever you've reached maturity, you feel that this is not the best for you, like, I want to be there for them, understand why it's not the best thing for you, and listen to you.
So next segment is
I have to go for it.
Show and tell.
Yes.
Whew.
Properly cold.
So yes, we have Tierra Noble here. Shout out to Tierra Noble. They have sponsored this podcast, even though they don't know about it.
Yep, we have sponsors now, guys. We're big.
We're in a big time. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Ah, fragile.
Fragile.
I understand.
Now you get it.
That's how I'm gonna be feeling in the morning.
That's how I feel now in life. I'm a fragile person. So this cake can leave us while we...
Next course.
Next
Time for the main course.
Main course.
The most important one.
Do you
Okay.
want me to pour or do you want to pour yourself?
You can pour it yourself.
Show and tell.
How-
Okay, this is the most
I will
exciting
do
show.
half and then
Half, okay.
we'll see how it goes from there.
You know the next question is very deep, right? The next question.
Oh yeah, we did discuss that.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's fine.
So, this is obviously
No,
Pavel's...
it's fine, it's fine.
So while Pavel pours, Pavel can also explain what this section is about.
It's called Show and Tell. To fans of the podcast, this will not come as a surprise, but we ask a guest to bring an object and talk about it. I'm very excited
This is...
because usually they're not, consumable. So
This is like a consumable show and tell.
Okay, so yeah, talk about it.
So I brought 3 shot glasses. They're made from vidrio soplado, which is
by the way, I
literally...
made mine the fullest.
Yeah,
Okay, by the way,
I can see
let
it.
the record show
That Pavel's is the fullest.
the descending
He's
order...
fancy for tequila.
The descending order of the tequila. Let the record show that he's here. So yeah, you were saying.
These are shot glasses from vidrio soplado, which basically means like blown out glass. It's craftsmanship in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And these were my gifts at my wedding.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yes. So I wanted to show you guys. I designed this logo actually.
Wait, is this your logo?
Yeah, it says Caro and Borja,
Mm-hmm.
October
Okay,
30,
I can see.
2021.
Amazing.
I got like, to me, the
Wait,
whole
30th,
shot.
30th October?
Yes.
That's my brother's birthday.
Oh, nice. Like my actual wedding was on October 31st in 2020, but
Halloween.
yes, that's my favorite holiday. Everyone knows that. But for those who don't know me,
Yeah, there's nothing scarier than a wedding. I think that's perfect that you got married on Halloween.
no, but to me the shot glass actually represents something that so I got proposed on February 2020, and the idea was to get married in Barcelona November of that year in Thanksgiving, so my family from the US could come. But COVID happened. And everything went to shit. And it was just a very hard time. And my parents couldn't, like, in August when we saw like the whole picture, we decided to like advance the wedding and do like a super small wedding in like the second wave of COVID here in Barcelona, where like you couldn't have reunions of more than 10 people. It was just really bad. My parents couldn't come. My sister was able to come from London, but it represents something that even in the sense of initially I was going to have the wedding in Barcelona, but if COVID didn't happen and if that didn't happen, I would never had pictured the wedding that I had in Mexico 1 year later. So sort of like things happen for a reason.
For the reason. For
Go
the
with
best.
because I honestly I had the most beautiful wedding and I was super happy, but it would never had happened if COVID
never happened.
never happened. So for me the shot represents like that wedding that you never pictured initially, but that it was like one of your highlights in your life because of this whole situation.
So this is basically like it's an object that represents one of the most important days of your life.
Yes.
That is a fantastic show and tell, and I know Pavel is eagerly waiting for his shot.
So tequila.
Okay,
Wait.
okay.
You don't know. You're not gonna drink it straight. I'm giving you tequila cristalino, which is like a very good tequila. But what we do in Mexico is that whenever I mean, you can of course have it as a shot if you want to have it as a shot. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to have a shot. I
But
just want to sip on it.
if you sip on it, exactly like slowly and smell. Right now, this is like cristalino is basically like there's different types of tequila, and it depends on the time that they spend on the barracks.
Mm-hmm.
So the longer the time, the color
better.
changes,
Okay.
and the smell changes, and the taste changes. So like, you have blanco, you have reposado, and you have añejo, and then you have añejo cristalino, which is this one that we're having.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a new invention where they kind of like remove the color of it, but it's still it has like a great taste. But yeah, like you sip on it, you can also have it as a shot. The reposado is the one that you usually mix in margaritas and things like that. But slow sips. And super cold. That's how you.
That's how you drink it.
Salud.
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 To your wedding. Oh wow.
Very nice.
And this is a artisanal tequila.
There we go.
Why is this the logo? What does it represent?
Because I got married in Tequila, like the town. Like
Oh,
tequila
so this
comes
is the,
from
this
a
is the
town.
plant, right? That's
Yeah,
the plant.
that's
right?
the agave plant.
Ah.
Oh.
So that's where the party was. But yeah.
And there was a lot of
Oh, yeah,
tequila
you
at the
can
wedding.
kinda see
There
it
was
on
actually
the
the
bottle
names.
as well.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, the names of the tables were different types of tequilas.
Excellent.
I had a big sip. Ben gave a shout out about like that Caro is a very nice person. This is going to be fun. So
He's so sweet.
you got a shout
Little
out.
did he know.
Little did he know. After this podcast, we'll change it.
We'll tell you the truth about everything that happened tonight.
See, that's the thing. Like everybody finds you to be like that. You're like the mother of ESA. You're like
Actually, in our group, when we have like feedback session, one of my group said that I was like Mama Hen.
you are. You're like Mama Bear. Like just the comforting, warm,
I
comforting
love
person.
the hen part.
The
Like, Paka!
I
I don't know, I just feel like a huge
I
chicken.
can't segue to the next question after you're doing like
No,
that's
I think this is the best segue.
the best segue.
And
Okay.
now.
Beautiful show and tell. Like
Thank you.
this.
Yeah, also really tasty. So.
Very
You like
tasty.
it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you want a bit more?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'll go, when I finish. Pavel's like, this is round 2.
Round 2 is like
Yeah,
right
because
here.
I was criticized, including by myself, for not pouring equally. So now. I feel
No,
good.
don't worry.
It's okay. It's fine.
So mean. He's
It's
overthinking now.
It's overthinking.
Now you can see the overthinking part.
Overthinking part. See, you're making
I'm
us.
just doing it for the fans.
You're making both of us like you. Like we're overthinkers. It's just that we're not as nice as you. That's the only thing. Like I cannot be as nice as you. Talking about so talking about being nice. The last segment. You want to open the floor with the question?
Well, this is Aryan's idea, but he wants to ask an easy question to close the episode out. So we ask
The
everyone,
glutes.
what's the meaning of life?
What's the meaning of life? I don't have an answer. Bye. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Like and subscribe.
No, but I think the meaning of life is correlated, business analysis, with happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you achieve happiness in your life? And of course that depends on every person, but to me, I've had many conversations with my mom about this, when like what makes you happy, as a person. Because my opinion, I don't have a specific answer, but my opinion with regards to life is like, sometimes we're not grateful enough to wake up every day and understand okay, we're alive, we're in this world, we're living this amazing experience, we have many friends, we're healthy. Some of course I'm just speaking about people that are not going through really hard moments, hardships, but you have so much that for me the meaning of life is just taking advantage of it all, in a sense of being nice to your husband, wife, significant other every day when you can, saying hello, being grateful, spending time with your family. I'm right now going through a moment where I'm kind of questioning a lot myself on how I'm gonna be able to spend the next years with my family, because I don't live with them. They're very far away, so I really want to make sure that I have time with them. So for me, it's spending time with them, going to concerts. Definitely, that's a huge plus. And yeah, it's something that I talk a lot with my mom about. It's just living experiences and being present. And of course, sometimes people say happiness, you're gonna happy if you become a millionaire, or of course you're gonna be happy. Of course you're gonna be happy if you're successful in life and in your professional career, and I think that like that's a no-brainer. But I do think that in the end, if I have all the money in the world, I'm just gonna be more financially secure. It's not necessarily I'm gonna be happier. So for me, happier is definitely the experiences that I live with the people that I love most. Oh my god, I have an answer. That's what I know. That's the meaning of life. That's the meaning of life.
Happiness, and happiness realized from spending time and having experiences with the people you love the most.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to come up with a new question.
Yeah, it's too easy now. It's very too easy now. Fuck. I thought we would